Welcome back, campers, to Ghost Storying. This is Chapter 4, Sheldon Church Ruins. You're not welcome here. Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Amy Shuford, psychic medium, and here we tell all the spooky tales as experienced by me. So, gather around your virtual campfire, or maybe you're sitting at your campfire right now, and let's get into it. Here we have the Sheldon Church ruins, and this is located in South Carolina. It's outside of Yemisi, and it's Revolutionary War era. I think it was established in the 1700s. At any rate, while staying in the area, I asked some of the locals if there was anything within about an hour's radius of where I was that was abandoned or spooky or historic. So this one kind of hit all three. And it was such a great atmosphere going out there as well. If you know anything about South Carolina, around kind of Charleston, Savannah, there's some really lovely tree-lined streets with the live oak and the Spanish moss, and I could just get lost going down those dirt roads, and it's just gorgeous. So interesting. We're going to do this a little differently as well, because I've got some footage that I took live right after this encounter happened, because I was very much surprised in how the spirits felt about me. And I pulled out my camera and just filmed a very quick, I don't know, it's like maybe 20, 30 seconds for TikTok. So we're going to do a little time warp here, and we're going to have past Amy speak to this really beautiful spot, and the traffic, to get some pictures for y'all of crystals and stones that are going up in my Etsy shop, and some pendants. I was told by some spirits, we don't want you here. Really? At the times, and they basically prefer their own. It's okay, I don't take it personally, and I hope that these crystals and stones find their new home. Okay, so I know I said, that's fine, they don't scare me, and they didn't, but it was just rude, and I was really taken aback, quite honestly. I had come, I think it was a day, maybe 2 days before the footage that you saw, and walked around the whole church, looked at all the trees, and thought then, gosh, this would be a really good place to photograph some of my crystals here in nature. And I think I'll come back another day, which is what I did. So when I came back, I really didn't expect to encounter any spirits. But as and right now my ear is ringing so bad telling this story, I can barely hear. So if I'm really loud all of a sudden, that's probably why. But I did not expect to encounter anyone. I really didn't look at the history of the place, just that I had asked if there were, as I said, any abandoned, spooky, or historic places. And I was looking for, circa the 1700s or 1800s. So I was walking around with different, oh, that's better. I can hear now. Different pendants and different stones. And as I came around this area here, I started to get that familiar feeling of crowding. And it's kind of like if you ever felt someone walking up behind you, all of a sudden you turn around and you're like, yeah, I felt you there. It's kind of like that from all directions. And I thought, okay, someone's here with me, and maybe it's some of the people that there's a few people buried there. So I'm like, well, maybe it's some of those people, or, and then I just got very unwelcome feeling, in these people started coming out. There was a man that he presented himself with kind of like a graying beard. And they were people like of the time. I wouldn't have expected to see anything different, really. I think I would have been more surprised if I'd seen people. Obviously there's spirits everywhere. They could be from our age, they could be from 10 years ago, but these were all period people, relevant to that time frame. And there was a lady. She gave the vibe of kind of like a stern school teacher or something, but they basically told me, you're not welcome here. We don't like your type, basically. And I was like, what? And I don't really know. At first, I didn't know what they meant. I was like, do you not like crystals? And I had a lot of little pendants, kind of like this, that I was photographing on trees and by the foliage. And then I had did have some different crystals. I'm like, really? Is that what you mean? But then I was like, oh, I get it. Not like, I wasn't like them. So they very much preferred their own kind, we'll say. And I'm like, oh, okay. Right. What is this? Okay, so I just learned something. I was looking through some photographs to see if I had anything different that I could use as a backdrop here, specifically looking for shots that would show the beautiful area that I was taking pictures of, the crystals and stones. I couldn't find one, but I saw that I had taken a photograph of the historical marker and I completely forgot. So I just kind of read it over and wow, okay. I kind of see why I ruffled some feathers with just my presence being there, because I was doing nothing disrespectful to the land or anything like that. So I read that sometimes the Sheldon Church ruins are referred to as the Sheldon Church Bull ruins. There is a gentleman who is buried there on the land who was a plantation owner, and the plantation he owned was called Bull Plantation. So I see why he didn't like me. But, I hung around. I did what I wanted to do. I enjoyed the area. I can see why he only approached me when there was no one else there. And we didn't have any further conversation. They just made it clear that I wasn't welcome. But I just respectfully did what I did, right? So Yeah. So that's all we're going to say about that. But I will put that marker at the end here so that you can learn a little more about the history, because I don't keep those dates in my brain. Obviously, I didn't even really read the sign after I took the picture of it. But I'll include it. And also, I found out, I didn't know this. I tried it once and I had to redo it because I look like a floating head, but I can put a video on this. So I'm going to show you more of the grounds because they are quite lovely. Don't forget to like and subscribe, right, Savannah Moo? Yeah. Okay, I want you guys to just take in the beauty of this place. It is gorgeous. Okay, so I was going to say, I don't know how long this video will loop. Well, it doesn't loop, so it kind of got me off, but that's okay. Overall, this is a really fascinating place to go. There are some picnic tables, which I wish I had a little video of the area that I was taking some of my pictures in, because it's a great spot to go, have lunch, bring the kids, walk around the ruins. There's a lot to do in the general area. So I definitely suggest, if you're in that area, to take a look at this. It's a cool place. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you next week for Chapter 5. Bye. I made it to Sheldon Church ruins. Besides the sounds of the very busy 2-lane highway behind me, it seems so magical and secluded.